Think of a charming country house in Kent. I can think of one particularly, Godmersham Park, covered in bluebells at the appropriate time of year, I think, round about Easter. And on the top of the hill, facing the house itself, where Jane Austen's brother lived, is a pavilion which was built to celebrate Jane Austen herself. It's been decorated with little pictures. I think it was built before Jane Austen visited, and she apparently wrote some of, I don't know which book it was, in there. But it's very charming, and I want you to keep that in mind because, of course, this belongs to the same family that gives us Richard Tice. I want to examine the fundraising woes of Reform UK, as well as the myth of insurgent populism that has been funded by the people for all the noise, for all the rallies, for all the promise to stick it to the establishment. Reform UK has quietly revealed that its financial scaffolding is as hollow as its rhetoric is loud. I must also confess that I've not made very many videos in the last couple of days because I've been down with something that seems to be like flu and with a raging temperature. But in the morning I feel fine, and then suddenly it hits me. So this afternoon I watched a few episodes of, what was it? The Gold, Part 2 with, the man from Downton Abbey. Spectacular performance. At first glance, however, Reform UK's 2025 fundraising haul of 1.5 million might look like a victory, but let's scratch that glossy surface. Over 600,000 of that wasn't new money at all. It was a reclassification of old loans from Richard Tice's company, Thiessen Investments. So thank you very much, Bernard Sunley, into donations. No cash changed hands. This is not fundraising. It's creative accountancy. In real terms, Reform pulled in just 840,000 in fresh donations. That's a third of what the Conservatives, even under the pathetic demonstration of Kemi Badenoch, have raised. It's less than Labour have raised, and they're in government. Even the Lib Dems are outpacing them. Reform brands itself as a grassroots insurgency, but of the 4.8 million it's raised since 2023, more than half comes from its own leadership. Richard Tice, Zia Yusuf, and Fiona Cottrell make up a donor trinity, funneling money from their own bank accounts to keep the party afloat. Well, that's what they've got to do, isn't it? that means Farage is never going to quite get rid of them. This is not a mass movement, it's a private club with a glossy membership page. And even that fabled membership figure, 233,000 strong, is unverifiable. If it's accurate, it's impressive. But Reform won't release internal financial data to prove how much this base contributes. Transparency is not their strong suit. And then we enter murkier territory. Open Democracy reveals that up to 10% of Reform's large donations come from individuals or companies linked to tax havens. Monaco, Luxembourg, Singapore, Dubai. I wonder what the Dubai link could possibly be. One donor, Roger Nagyoff, is a Lehman Brothers alumnus. Another, Jacques Tomey, has ties to oil lobbying. A third, Simon William Smith, works in crypto, a sector Reform promises to deregulate. Reform criticises Labour for accepting money from Cayman Islands-linked donors, yet does precisely the same. It's not hypocrisy, it's strategy. Reform's financial lifeblood is wealthy people hoping to profit from deregulation, not pensioners in Clacton with a Union Jack on the lawn. Nick Candy, the former Tory donor turned Reform treasurer, boasted of billionaires lining up to back the party. But where are they? Where are they? His global fundraising tour, targeting expats in Dubai, Monaco, the US, has so far delivered very little visible reward, and his fundraising deputy, George Cottrell, known as Posh George, once jailed in the US for wire fraud, now shuttling between Montenegro and Brussels, setting up opaque consulting vehicles. This isn't political finance, it's an offshore shell game. There's no suggestion of illegality. Please don't think I'm suggesting that. I'm not even hinting that. But Reform's dependence on undisclosed donors on offshore trusts, on people who've done porridge, on wealthy libertarians, paints a troubling picture, doesn't it? Keir Starmer's government is reportedly considering a crackdown on dark money. If that happens, Reform's fundraising model, such as it is, may collapse entirely. And without the cash to run candidates or keep the lights on, all the populist bluster in the world won't matter. Reform UK says it's different. Oh, I'm not shallow. I've got deep pockets, says Farage. Well, he might say that. I don't know whether he does, actually. It's a party paid for by its founders, backed by offshore donors and scraping the barrel to stay solvent. It's a vanity party. Farage may rage against the establishment, but when it comes to money, he relies on exactly the sort of influence he claims to detest. Reform's financial failure is not just embarrassing, it reveals the hollow core of a movement long on slogans and short on substance.